Huh?
15. That's 15. Yes.
Oh, no, that was just the map that he came.
Oh, he can't,
He
okay.
came in and I said that his setbacks have to be, so that he's just using this.
Oh, just using it.
Yeah, and he's just saying that I said he has to be 5 off the sideline because he's not cornering.
Oh, 15 off of that.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily what he's doing.
The
That
other
was-
one was, 20. And then this one,
Right.
15. I just had to get the scribbles right. We're skipped today.
It's 4.
Okay, it's February 22nd, 4 o'clock. City Council.
Where's his nibs?
Pardon?
Where's his nibs?
He can't,
Mayor.
he can't see, so he had to go to the
He
doctor.
went to the doctor.
He can't see, he's
He wasn't sure if he was gonna be here or not, so we're rolling without him. Please stand. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have you all read the February 8th meeting? Minutes?
I have a question.
Okay,
Yeah, on the fire trucks, one pump's been fixed,
yes,
one truck,
yes.
but have they both, has one of them been certified?
The one
Okay. Fixed and certified? Okay,
fixed and certified.
okay, good.
And when they, and they're supposed to mark them from what, the person who does the fixing of the other one does the certification. So when we get it back, it's certified.
Okay. Good.
Okay, are there any corrections or additions? Do I have a motion to accept the minutes of February?
Make a motion to accept the February 8th, 2022 minutes as presented.
Do I have a second? All in favor? All opposed?
This is mine.
Renee, was Jeff or?
I just text Tim. He had planned on being here.
Well, we'll just move on then. Okay, we have 2 applications. First one is Jeff Long on Badger, lot 121.
Meets the setbacks.
And it's a small house,
Nice cabin.
384 square feet,
How high is it?
19 feet.
Okay. Let's see.
Like it on the front, Martin?
Oh, okay.
16 by 24, height is 19.
Okay.
That's a little different.
So there's no application.
City wise.
Do you have a motion to let him go forward with this?
I make a motion that we let that long build his house.
Do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. have Jeff Rice, lot 12, Iron Horse Road, garage addition. 22 wide, 20 length, 16 feet high.
Mimics the one he's already got there. He's adding on.
And he's adding on to the backside, so therefore it won't interfere with snow removal on the property.
Yeah,
So I don't see a problem with it.
What about the clear vision?
He's off of the edge of the highway, 15 feet.
and there's a berm there too.
Okay, that looked like 5 feet to me,
Or
but maybe it's 15.
Looks
Yeah,
like
it's
15 to me, it looks like a T right there.
Yeah, it's 15.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a big berm there anyway, so you wouldn't be able to see it when you come up the road.
Yeah, because it's down in that hole.
Do I have a motion to let him move forward on his addition?
Make a motion to pass Jeff Rice's application for an addition.
For a second?
Also,
All in favor? Opposed? We'll let him know. Okay, on new business. Let's stop RV water and sewer fees. You all have a copy of the email, I think. You all have a copy of our
The basically,
base rate too. So,
Who said we don't?
so John, you can have my copy because I have a second copy. This is just came out of the office. I have a question. Are you going to have any kind of water access to the trailers that come in? Are you going to have any water access for the trailers that come in to you?
I'm gonna put in a sewer dump, so yes.
You're gonna put a sewer dump, are you gonna put in a water spigot too?
Yep.
Okay, well, I wasn't sure, because I hadn't seen it. Okay. Maybe you are gonna do that. Water spigot. Are you putting any kind of limit on how much water they can fill up, or are you gonna let them fill total, just let them go? Okay, you guys looked over the fees, and I guess we need to discuss this. This is a little different than the other RV parks, so.
Well, I have a potential conflict of interest, which I'm declaring because John
Okay,
and Rebecca are my friends.
okay,
And I've done work for John in the past. I'm not representing him right now. And my understanding is do you qualify as an RV park then, at that point?
yeah, he's an RV park.
Okay. Well, then, is this one of those where the contract is negotiated, or does it come right off this sheet?
Well, this sheet is what we have to work with. I tried to call around and find somebody else that had a dry camp RV park, but I haven't been able to, find that I could kind of see how the other cities were handling it. Because this is kind of, yeah, we have a sewer, like a sewer base. We have a light commercial base. There's a $10 fee that is attached, which is that land improvement. That's on everything. So, and then we have, let's see, No buildings. We have a rate that's for per unit. It's, what it says here is RV park with dump station, one or more outbuildings. So, I mean, that's all we have to go on, so that's why I say we need to discuss this and kind of make sure it works for all, Patterson's and the city. And the water is the same way. It has a base rate. And then so, we need to discuss this, any discussion? Any suggestions? You all look this over, Charlie? Yeah, you looked at it.
The big thing is according to what we approved with John's planning application, it was for 100 sites, along with 2 campsites, wet, and also the office / restrooms. My thing is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the way I look at this is the modern day RVer, they don't tap water. So they're gonna get water from you. They're gonna go camp, they're gonna come back and they're gonna dump the water. But because we have 100 sites in there, that's 10,000 gallons of water. But I had to ask myself, I says, why would somebody put in 100 sites right off the top of your head?
What do you come up with?
My answer?
Yeah.
Mr. John Patterson, in his mind, in his ways, in his math, he does believe he can fill 100 at one given time. Whether it's, and this is irrelevant to the city on this part, whether it's once a day, once a week, once a month, once a year, we have to provide this water. On the average, an RV uses, I'm gonna say 100 gallons approximately per unit. I know there's RVs out there that hold 200, 250 gallons. After you say that, we're looking at 10,000 gallons of water, which we're obligated by this to see that you get this. And that is also 10,000 gallons of sewer that we get to deal with. With this being said, then that's just on the RV parts. Because they're not gonna go out there and dry can. You know, and I talked to.
How can you tell me what somebody else is gonna do, Charlie?
Because they don't tap water, John.
They're gonna get water.
What's the first thing I do, Rebecca, when we get ready to go camping?
Wake up if you can.
Yes.
Where you going?
Okay, we're not,
What's your
So I don't care what you think. Go buy an RV park of your own and you set it up how you want.
I
Anyway, let's get on.
I
okay.
talked
Let's
to
go.
Hey, calm down, John.
Nope.
I talked, huh?
I would like to
Then
ask,
you're done. I say that we table this until John wants to calm down and
No,
rationally
I'm-
discuss this. And we'll come up with our figures according to what John has written, for what we have approved, and everything else right here, because we have done our due diligence, John. I've tried to talk to you, when you were approving this. Because I knew that this was going to come back up and come back around. I've talked to the RVers, the new RVers who just bought that RV park, used to be RVers. And they say the same thing. So I'm not gonna speculate,
You just did.
but the thing is though, is I'm saying that these fees is gonna be per space, not the gallons of water, because we don't meter. That's all I'm saying. And I know that these 2 RV parks are really concerned about you, because they didn't know whether you were going to have a dump station. And they said, because people don't carry their own black and gray water, they want to dump it. They were afraid your RVers are going to go there and dump. However, you have answered this question by saying you were going to put this in. And by saying that, then now we can move forward with that using the fees that we have.
so,
Still have a question.
okay, go ahead, Rebecca.
Charlie, could you please tell us your 6,000 gallon story for residential use? Your
6,000 gallon story for residential
We're not
use.
gonna talk about stories.
Charlie's favorite story for residential use and why we don't meter is the state of Oregon says some class that he took averages the household uses 6,000.
6,600 gallons is what the state says you get to use, and that's residential.
That's one
That's not
residence
commercial.
and a half.
Huh?
That's one residence and a half.
And that's residential, that's not commercial use. This is commercial use.
Okay, we need to figure out what is going to be a fair price to Patterson's and a fair price to the city.
Just read the meter
Well,
every month. Let's read that meter.
The meters are counted.
Well, we heard that 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, I just said, with the-
Okay, the meters are written into the grant for the new water tower, so that's here nor there. We need to, within the next month, have a fee for Patterson, so they know what they're gonna pay. So all we have is what fees we have set up for all our businesses and stuff.
And these were enacted when, again?
Where did these come out of, do you know? It's
Before my time.
Yeah, it's something that was.
I just pulled that out of QuickLooks.
Yeah, it's been in the city.
Did you pull out the other two parks water rates? About QuickBooks? How much are they paying?
Okay, that's not something, that's not something
Okay.
that I can provide.
And you're different, that's what I said, you're a different
I shouldn't
situation.
have to pay as much.
Well,
You
you're a
have more
different
spots.
situation than they are.
You can't tell me that they're all using water.
Okay,
can't tell me they're not.
That
guys,
they're all gonna dump it.
listen, we need to discuss rates, we have to come up, because right now, according to our list here, a low commercial water service is $31.50. That is the base. If you look at this, there's also a lodging, but I'm not sure that comes into effect. So that's what we have for water. You all need to look at it. And then the same way with the sewer. The sewer has a base rate of $15. A light commercial or you go to the light commercial base rate, which is probably where it should be, is 18 plus your $10 sewer land fee, which is on top of everybody's. And then it says here, an RV park with a dump station in one or more buildings is $660 per unit. And then we also have, that is for high use. We also have a medium, this RV park with a dump station. This is no outbuildings, but it's RV park, no dump station, one or more outbuildings, or RV park, dump station, one outbuilding. So that's at $560. So that's what we have to work on, or work with.
And then also you have the showers too, because you're gonna have shower. Right.
It's kind of like the shop at the house, shower there, they can shower. They're bringing, okay, Charlie, look at it this way. They're bringing 100 porta potties and showers with them.
Well,
We don't do tents.
no,
Well, we don't need, that's for the laundry thing, so. But that's what we have for base. I mean, that's what we have to go on, and that's what we need to discuss. And you've got, that's what the ordinance said.
this is the ordinance for the city.
And the ordinance also provides it can be negotiated.
Okay.
And so my comment at the outset is I got more bathrooms and showers in my house than his entire park has.
Well, I agree with
And, you know, if we can tailor this so it works,
Mhm.
if John has a license for so many,
Okay.
then he pays a certain amount, and if it goes up, then it can be renegotiated, or you can base it on the occupancy. Now, the reading of the meters is a great way of doing it.
Oh, it is.
That, you know,
I have to agree with you.
should have been done years ago. In fact, it was required as part of our grant to get the sewer we have now. So I don't know what the hangup is on putting a meter in there. Do you have a hangup?
I've got a check in my briefcase for $8,500, which is including a meter. Are you charging people meters?
Yeah, it has been the practice,
The
but
city
it's-
does not have the meters are gonna come in, like I say, that is not, you know, that's a whole nother discussion, because we've already put a grant in for meters.
no, it isn't another discussion, but we're trying to work a way through
Right.
this
Okay.
so we can make a decision and not table it.
Okay,
Because one of these days, we're gonna need to fill this whole room up with a table for all the stuff we table. Now, if, do we know what kind of meters are gonna be put in?
no, I mean, this is something that's down the road, by the time they get to putting the meters in what, a year and a half, they're gonna be better than what they have now, so.
The
But they're
meters,
going to be readable, I mean, they're not gonna be where you have to go down and read the meter.
the meter's gonna be read right through that office.
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna
Okay,
be-
I understand that, but until then,
Until then,
We don't-
we haven't been using meters because we don't read them. Because we haven't.
Right.
And
even
then
though we were supposed to.
we were
So-
supposed to a
We're
long
supposed
time
to-
ago.
yeah.
Yes, we were.
But however, the thing is though, is that opens up the door of whether we do it just for John and put a meter in and we read one meter for him, or, and just leave it be at that. And we're saying that you get the, I don't know what the commercial rate is, but I imagine it's more water than 6,600 gallons. And leave it at that, and then we're gonna come back on the behalf after the meters are put in, because this will be another council altogether, more likely. That gets to decide whether we have a base rate like all other utilities, and then we charge so much per gallon or per hundred.
Or unit, and you get so many units in your base rate, usually. That's how it works. All
Well,
right.
it has, but then it hasn't, because the one that I've just got talking to with the guy, and they're saying that they pay $23 a month for base rate. You get zero water, and you pay X amount of cents, pennies, per unit.
And in Baker, it's, you get so much for that. It's neither here nor there how you're gonna do it. The fact of the matter is, we're gonna need meters in there. Until then, and because we haven't read them, as was required by our grant documents about 10 or 12 years ago, we have been in violation of that, you know, straight through. So now, we need to figure out what to do, because apparently we would be in violation if we charge them $1,000 a month, if going forward, because we're under the old rules still. Now, it seems to me if John has X number of people in it, that he can fit, you know, into one of these rates. We don't know what a small, or what is it?
Which one,
Low, commercial, low, and,
yeah, there's commercial high, commercial low, and commercial medium. Are you talking, looking at sewer or water?
I'm looking at, at water.
Okay.
And this, improvement fee, I have no idea what that's
Oh,
for.
that's that land use fee that everybody pays on their water bill, that's, or their sewer bill. That's been on for a long time,
Why?
because we have it's something we voted in.
Where's that?
Oh, it's,
That might be.
The land use
That was
fee,
for-
everybody pays this, Martin?
I understand
No,
that.
no, and it's for the purchase of the sprinkling system above the lagoon on the city property. That's what that $10 is for, that didn't get paid for many, many years. Karen Peters is the one that brought this up to our attention, stating that there is supposed to be a fee for $10 that goes to that land development up there where we sprinkled it, that goes towards our purchasing. And that's where that goes.
Oh, okay, and that's part of the $10 that went a little here and a
Yeah.
little
Yeah,
there.
remember when we had that problem?
So-
Okay.
She asked where the money went, that's
So
what she
can I
asked.
ask, how much is a new updated meter?
I don't know, be a 2-inch meter? I don't know. We haven't priced one. We don't have one on the shelf.
You know, John?
No, I have no idea.
And that would be for reading.
And like I said-
That would be for reading the water.
That would be for
But
reading the water.
how do you, then we just come up with a flat fee for the sewer?
Well, unless you want to put a meter in there. And, you know, I don't exactly know how that would work. But what about doing this? Until we get the new improved automatic self telemetry meters, why not let them put in an old fashioned meter that someone looks at?
Well, that's why I was asking how much that costs.
What, you asked him how much a new meter was, I thought you meant the new fancy one.
No, I just mean
Just a meter.
just a new meter. I mean, we don't have, we'd have to go buy a meter. That's what I was asking, is how much a meter would cost.
And you gotta figure,
Well, okay, so if we, I mean, somebody, are you on the internet right now?
Mm,
Why don't you,
Yeah, well,
why don't you punch in?
She can't.
It's our it's our
If it-
video.
if it,
Oh, that's our
it might
video.
make the video drag, but what am I
Well-
looking for?
Tim appears to be
0.0508 meters.
cyber Tim. Virtual Tim. Well, I guess what I'm saying is, okay, now you gotta have someone to read it. And I think the easy answer to that is let John read it, and if over a period of 3 months, let's say you have someone from the city check it, and if he's off by more than 3%, then
Well, I mean, the guys could, if it's 1 meter, they could read the meter. I mean, it's not, that's not the,
They go around, read meters all the time.
that's not. the
okay, well,
problem.
I'm just trying to say if that was a problem, because I think you can.
I think it would be better. Yeah, to let one of the guys read it, 'cause then
that's
there's
what I saw. I
no,
saw 2 of them.
Okay, John, how
Right
many?
around $500.
$500.
It looks like. Then you gotta figure out what you're gonna charge from them.
Or,
We know what that is because, you know, you're gonna end up dividing how many gallons, well, no, because we don't charge per gallon. We just say that for the amount you spend today, you get X amount of gallons. So that tells you how much price per gallon at residential rates.
really, what is it?
I don't know, I haven't done that.
But
Well, we know
you have no idea what
Without a
gallons you use.
clue how many gallons you're using.
The thing is though, we don't know how many gallons you use. Now, let me do this politically correct kind of, I'm trying. The thing I'm saying is, we know that the state allows 6,600 gallons of water. We know that we're paying $44.50 for water. So you take $44.50 divided by 6,600, that tells you what the price is per gallon. Okay? That's how you know.
That's based on a state,
That's state
Norm,
That's
okay.
state normal for residential.
okay, this isn't
But the
residential.
thing, no, this is not residential, and I do not know what the water, how much water they allow for, that's a bottom line allowance.
Well,
In a commercial rate, you know what I'm saying, Marty?
I understand what you're saying, and it isn't making sense to me, because you can't compare apples to oranges. If this is commercial, and right now, there are going to be 3 toilets, 2 showers, 1 RV space, so figure, I don't know what you figure if they're self-contained. So we got the 3 toilets, 2 showers.
So
Okay,
I think,
that's something to base a flat fee on.
now, the thing is, though, is if we go with our ordinance, okay? Rule of thumb is, it says you use a 1 to 15 ratio.
Of what?
You put in one bathroom for the men, one bathroom in for the women, for 15 spots,
Where'd you get that number?
right here
Okay.
in the ordinance. With this being,
Paragraph.
with this being said, because we're over 15, so they can't be unisex ordeals, it says that the men's will have a toilet, a urinal, a sink, a shower, and a dress area. Women's will be everything except for the urinal. And if it's put in under the same building, under the
And
same.
do the other parks have that, Charlie?
Yes,
Oh, they do.
they do.
Gold Rush has that?
Yes, they do.
Really?
They do.
Okay.
Put one in.
And and Don,
Yeah, well, yes, Charlie?
this is old school. You're brand new. You get to comply with brand new.
I know. And I
It's
am
not a-
complying. And if they stay for less than 33 days or less, I don't need to provide them with anything. But that's the state.
I'm going, this is city.
Yeah, well,
You
and
know,
it says to apply, it's applicable, you have to be legal with all city and state.
city, county, and state.
Mhm.
Wait, when you say.
Are you just trying to shut it down, Charlie? Is that what you're trying to do?
What's that,
in
Martin?
effect here? Is that what's in effect now? You said old school.
Well, the two places, because that RV park down there, they have enough bathrooms for their spaces and the showers. This one up here, I do believe they have their shower and they have their bathroom and they have a laundry room too, that comply with the spaces they have.
What about the urinals in the dressing room and everything else you rattled off there? Because I've used their bathrooms.
Well, this part, I do not know, because this part did not come up.
You just said that you did.
Okay,
This-
guys,
This part here, that's why I call him, that's what I'm saying, this was done before us. You're brand new, you get to comply. That's all I'm saying. And then, I'm not saying this is written in stone, because as Martin is saying, we're trying to work to where it's feasible for everybody. You gotta remember, if you do this, and if, say you did.
What do you mean, if I do this?
No. Let me finish. If you provided 100 gallons per spot, that's 10,000 gallons of water, 10,000 gallons of sewer, you have to have the sewer there. The city gets to eat this sewer deal, because when we pump your tanks, it's gonna cost the city between $1,500 to $4,000 to pump these tanks out. You know? This is something, the city can't eat this. The city has to pass this forward. So we have to be aware of what is taking place. And if you're gonna sit there and say, read the meters, because I'm gonna say, and correct me if I'm wrong,
Well,
if you come out and you say, we metered the water, you used, say, 10,000 gallons for the month, right? That's what you used. I'm gonna say, that's 10,000 gallons of sewer that you just dumped. Because these guys aren't.
And, okay,
I'm
Charlie.
not saying they won't, but most of them who don't travel with RV sewage, unless you're campers, because we have the campers that go out and hunt. They come to town, they used to go to our spigot down there and fill up the fruit until we put a padlock on it. But the thing is, though, they go out and they camp, they come back, and they would go to one RV park or the other to go dump, which they pay a fee to them, not to us.
Or they could go on down to Ladd Canyon and dump it for free.
Or they can do either one they want to do. But normally they don't travel with it because they don't want to pay for the fuel and the weight, because especially with these toy haulers that are hauling all the weight already. But this is just common sense.
okay.
I mean, it's not written in
Not
stone.
necessarily, because you can't say every RV is gonna pull in there and fill up with water and dump before they leave.
And you can't say they ain't.
No, I can't, but I'm not saying that they're not. You are saying they are.
I'm gonna say it's probably pretty close to what that's gonna be.
Because you've been trying to kill this park since day one.
No, I haven't.
Okay, you guys,
I've been on your side forever. I'm just trying to get you to understand what the expensiveness is gonna be, and apparently I did that. When you started out with 150 spots, and Rebecca's the one that.
You know why I did that? Because I don't want to be an asshole liar and say I'm only gonna put in 10 and then dump 100 people in there. That's why I said 150, and the state's laws are, let me talk. The state's laws are easier for 100 and less, so we dropped it to 100.
And the fees are a lot cheaper for you too. Because I have the state part of that too.
okay, guys.
But that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I have been on your side and trying to understand how you come up with 100 spots. These guys have 30, well, 29.
They have 2 acres.
They have 29 spots, that's all.
They have
I
2
said.
acres.
They have 29 spots.
Okay,
We
These
have
guys here
20
have 30.
acres.
how many?
30.
Who?
They own the land. Well, I got that straight from the horse's mouth, so if they're telling me no.
Okay.
So they got 30 with 2 bathrooms.
Charlie, let's just pull this back for a minute. We still need to come up with fees.
Correct, but you're going to have to, if you're going to use, the thing is where Martin was going, are we going to put this in compliance? Because to me, it's a way overkill. Because you're looking at 14 bathrooms,
That is,
huh?
that is
That is
overkill.
But,
Ain't that many people gonna wanna pee at the same time?
well, that's, but like I said.
And without the lack of full service hookups, nobody will stay in that park for 3 days, or for more than 3 days. And I'll tell them that when they get there. Because most of them are gonna come up for the weekend and ride and go home. What?
Can I,
This is not, that's no bearing on the city.
Okay,
can I
wait,
ask a question? Do we see it feasible at all about just getting a meter and putting it in? I know how Martin feels, I mean, I'm talking to you guys.
Yeah,
I
I've
mean,
always just said this.
would that be an easier way to deal with
You
this at
can,
this
you can
point?
put it in and meter the water.
Meter the water and come up with a fee per gallon to read, correct, Tim?
Yeah, would we be arguing over, how much a gallon?
Well, we'd have to
Well, we'd have to set that.
we'd have to set,
Yeah.
we'd have to come up and set
And
a
the only,
fee.
I'll add this part, the only other thing I see with the RV parks is one expense to the city is the septic systems are usually a 3-tank system and one wears into the other. And we end up usually pumping each one of the RV tanks, we pump each one every year. And they don't sustain themselves as well because I don't know why they don't, but we end up pumping them at least once a year, each of the RV parks. So that is a little bit of an expense.
and that was part of the deal when we put in this hybrid system, that the city would pump them once you had your system hooked up.
Correct.
Well, okay, I'm gonna get back to this. The ordinance on our water talks about the negotiated contract. So we don't have to do what this says. We can negotiate. Okay? So if we know what John's gonna do, we ought to be able to figure that out. Now, I don't know if you're gonna tell people, hey, we don't have a dump station for you, or we do, or we don't have water for you, or we do. Do you know if you're gonna do that?
No, if I'm putting in a dump station and going to that expense, yeah, there's a dump station.
Okay.
But
So there's-
you are planning, you said you were planning on putting the dump station in.
Yes.
Okay.
And is it for people to stay there only, or can anybody come over, or if I,
Our park's gonna be for our customer use only, the entire thing, every inch of it.
okay,
So,
so if I have loose bottles, I can't stop by.
no,
No.
Okay.
So,
unless somebody wants to come into the office. Other than that, the services are for our customers.
All right, so would it work at all to have a sliding scale? If you got so many people, it's this, so many people, it's that.
No, because you
that's,
can't say that people aren't gonna bring their own water. Shit, we may not have any in July and this.
that's what,
Yeah, you're right, you're right.
And I've already set that up so I can backfeed it out of my own well on my own property and haul water down there for toilets.
All right.
the problem, Martin, with the sliding fee, it's really hard for billing, I think, just to have, like everybody's on a flat fee, so they know exactly what they're paying every month. And accounting wise, I think it's, I mean, the meter's going to change that, but as far as the sewer.
Well, I guarantee you, if we put John on a sliding scale everybody that's commercial here will want the same thing.
Well, they may, and they have the right to ask for it under Section 2, Article 1, Sub B4. So,
But I really don't care for a sliding scale. I care to read the meter.
Well, I'm
No,
just
we're
talking
talking
about, I was talking about the
Okay.
sewer. That's what I mean, I
Is there
think,
sewer meters, Tim?
that's what I mean, that way he knows what he's going to pay, like on sewer, so again, so the fees can be passed on, I mean, in fairness.
Yes, yes,
In
it's not
fairness-
dumping for free.
Well, yeah, in fairness, you need to know what you're paying so that,
are you gonna charge people to dump or
Yes.
just being there?
Yes,
Okay.
but I can't make them dump.
No, but if you charge them to dump,
I,
short of you giving away any business plan,
Mhm.
if you were to charge them so much to dump and turned that money over to the city, would that be fair?
If the city wants to put in the tanks for me and everything else
I mean, that's
involved.
the thing, we make.
See what I'm saying? That's me doing all the work and you guys getting
No,
the
no,
profit out
you're,
of it.
you're missing what I'm trying to
What you're
get
trying to
at.
say is I can keep track of how many dumps and pay the city $1 a dump or whatever it amounts to.
Right, and you can even leave your costs in there for that. That can be negotiated.
But I feel that the other part should have to go to that much trouble too. You didn't even hook barrels into the sewers line.
Like, that RV park doesn't have any dry camping. This one does.
Yeah, they do.
They have tents.
They have tent sites.
So you just put it in.
Yeah, they have tent sites, that's dry camping.
The thing is, though, that is, the consuming of the water is in the toilets. They don't take it to their campsite.
What difference does that make?
About 100 gallons.
What, do people just dance in front of the toilet all the time?
That,
No, they go in there and use them.
that's what I'm saying. That's bathrooms. But right now, we're talking about dumping RVs. Because they're not gonna go stand in front of John's dump site and use it without having a cover over it. You know, because otherwise you'd be exposed.
Cover.
Well, yeah, you gotta have a little tent, like we do for camping, so you can go in there and do your business over the top wall. We're talking about dumping RVs. That's the discussion we are doing today, right here, right now. Not tent camping. Tent campers don't do this with the RV dump. The RV dump has nothing to do with tent campers. They use the bathrooms. That's what I'm trying to say. So these guys do not have RV dry camping.
They have tent dry camping.
They have tent dry camping.
I see what you're saying.
When you're in
The tents aren't stopping and dumping their shit,
that,
right?
that's right.
That's all.
They're using the bathroom, because even your RVers that wanna go out here, and if they're not packing any water, they're gonna use your facilities. But they ain't gonna have any water to dump when they get ready to leave. But my point was, going along with Martin, was Daryl and Luann, on their dry camping spaces they have, the fee for dumping, they push into the campsite spot. So when you come in and you get a spot, it includes you to bring your trailer in and dump it before you leave. It's already in it. Whether you do it or not, the fee got paid. And then we collect ours.
Can you collect what?
And then the city collects
Their fee.
the fee for having a dump station. That's all we do. We have a flat fee,
$22?
whatever the dump
That's
station,
okay, $22, I'm okay with that.
so
A
whatever.
month.
But the difference is how many spaces, and this is where Martin is with you, trying to come up with, are we gonna do this as people come in? Or are we gonna set us, you're good from here to 15 people. Anything over 15 people, you're good from 15 to here. And give you that set rate. Which that comes to a sliding scale.
Well, I kind of understood it as maybe 50 campers was the scale start, and if we go over 50 and hedge towards the 100, then we need to increase that fee.
That's a good one, Rebecca.
So, are you saying it's $22? It's what it says right here. for a high dump station.
That's what it says.
Okay,
But
that doesn't say per unit?
it does
That's
down at
not.
the bottom.
It does. Well, I can't
Yes,
read.
down, at the RV, you have
Okay.
a high, low, medium, user fee per space.
Down at the bottom.
The 660.
Right here, this is a user fee per space, and I do believe everybody pays that, so there's your high, your low, and your medium. So he would, if he was low, say he's low, and he has 100 spaces, it's
Okay.
$460.
Okay,
I mean, that's what we almost need to cover to the city.
so
So,
you add that to it, okay, to the 22?
so you just figure high, low, medium, or what it's gonna be, because there's 3 different fields there. So then you have your sewer base rate and your land improvement fee. And then you decide on the pump station, whether it's high, low, or medium, and you add that in. So you pick the middle of the line at the $7,
So, okay,
for the pump. You pay so much a month for a pump. So when it's time for them to pump, that it's included into the fee.
have we raised the fees on everybody else in town too?
Yes.
Okay, to pump.
No, we raised the sewer or the water fees last year.
Okay. The pumping fee hasn't gone up. In fact, there should be no fee because that was a deal.
No, the city pays for the funding.
No, for the homeowner or the person, there was never supposed to be a pumping fee.
It's included in the monthly
The
fee.
city.
It's included in the
city-
Right, so it isn't in addition, but it seems to be
No, it's
like a
not.
separate item under a different name.
It is.
So for 100 units or 50, what would be the monthly nut under your scenario?
What's it return?
Eliminating the pumping fee. You have to decide if it's high, low, or medium
Is your base rate,
on space.
your base rate is 18, you got your $10, so you've got $28 into it already. Well, the high is an RV park at a dump station, 1 or more outbuildings. But the medium one, the medium one is shows at 560.
But it says no dump station.
Then below it says RV park dump station, there's a whole line of it,
There's a high, low, and medium.
But if you read the sewer high, low, and medium, the medium doesn't fit because he has a dump station and he has an outlet. The low doesn't comply because it says no dump station and no outbuildings, which he has outbuilding and he has a dump station. So you go to the high side says it's an RV park with a dump station and 1 or more outbuildings, which he has, which is $660 per space. That's the one that fits. Am I right? Am I
Where
wrong?
are you getting these numbers?
Okay. it's
Right
on-
here down towards the middle where, just before it starts talking about water service, Martin?
You're on the water side.
No, we're on the
What's
sewer
the other
side.
side?
Go all the way down to the bottom of where it says sewer.
Okay,
There's the 3 in row.
okay, I see it now.
And then if you come over, it tells you what it is.
Okay, so $6.
660, yeah, 660.
I can't read it, okay. All right, and then what?
Well, we have to add on the $10,
User, the,
the improvement fee, because everybody's paying that.
You're adding the 22, the 15, and the 10.
the 15 would be the base rate.
Surrey base rate, and then yeah. So are you going by 50 or 100?
We will not have 100 in there the first year, we can't withdraw.
So if we go with what John has requested and go to a 50 spot, right? So then it would be times 50.
50 times what?
660.
$340 with the land use fee.
With the land use fee, but we got to do, and we got the $15.
I got 377 on the 50. You're gonna have the 22?
Okay.
Because you got the 22.
$377? Is that what you're saying?
Well, you're gonna do the 660 times the 50 space, that's where your big money is.
650?
You're gonna charge me for every space that you're not supplying water to, and you don't know if they're gonna fill up, but you want me to pay for that. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just looking on.
Well, I'm just asking what you're
Yeah,
saying.
we're just looking at this
This-
list and going to start with.
So do the math.
Well, even if
50
you went-
times 650, right?
Yeah.
660.
650, yeah.
660.
60.
That's
66.
$330.
And that's high use,
Oh, okay.
That's high use.
so there's a high level
That's
to be.
$330 just for that. And then if you're going to do the $10 on top of that, that's $340. And then if you're going to do the $22 because it's a high dump station, that gets added in also.
How about you guys just come down to my park, take turns every weekend and count how many people fill up and dump? We'll pay for that. I mean, that's how,
But then you also have the shower building.
And are you going to put any laundry in it?
yep,
Are you?
yep. The laundry's roughed in, that does not mean I'm gonna put a washer and dryer in there.
Well, I asked you if you had it and you said yes.
Yes, I did.
Okay, well, the thing is though, is it doesn't seem to matter because that's a $28 fee because you got to have the showers too, and it doesn't have a fee for that. How many you put in, it just is a flat rate. So you got the 28, you have, I gotta get over here on a clean piece of paper. So you have that, the sewer dump station, which is $22. You have, if you're not going to charge, you have the base rate of 15. You have laundry and shower base of 28. You have the $10 user fee. And then you have $330 per space, whether you fill them up or not.
My question is, and I don't know if we know that, do the other two RV parks pay per space on their sewer?
I don't know that I can say.
Why wasn't that looked into before we got into this meeting, is what I'm kind of wondering right now. Why was there no research done when I gave you 2 weeks?
Yes, they were, February 17th, is that 2 weeks? Yes, they pay for, they are being billed for
Per unit.
their units.
Whether it's full or not.
Whether it's full or not, and they're paying year round.
They pay year-round monthly.
And your answer, Martin, is $405 is what it comes to.
Every month, year round.
No, because you want to be open, you only want to be open from this date to this date, you're not a year
Yeah.
open. So that's what it is, from the time you come in and say, here's my $300, go turn my water on, until you come in and say, we're done for the year, go turn the water off.
So if the other two RV parks are paying whatever it is, the 660, 460, or 560 per space for their sewer, why isn't it not feasible to have all RV parks charged the same?
I don't like charging people for something I'm not giving them. Doesn't seem to bother the
But
city
it's-
council though.
But it's an option if they want it or don't want to use it. Is that correct? I mean, if they want to dump, it's there. If they don't want to dump.
Yes.
it's
Well, see,
there.
I'm not gonna stand out there and force everybody to dump.
No.
See, and the thing is, though,
But
it's
you're
like,
If it was me, I would take it to Lad Marsh rest stop, and I'd dump it there. It gives it plenty of time to slosh around and mix everything up. But I'm just not a great camper like the other people. So, that's just what I would do.
Well, some people don't know that's available. And it's convenient if it's right there. I mean, it's a service that you provide. It's no different than if you go into a convenience
biggest-
store,
the
the
biggest
lights
thing
are on,
that
whether
I
people
see
come in or not.
it is, we, the city, are trying to come up with a fee that's feasible. Because we have, as a city, maintenance that goes along with this. We're not here to tell you how you run your park. You want to give everything away, we don't care. Bottom line is this is what it's gonna cost you per month. That's what we're trying to settle.
Yeah, but
How you run your business should not be up to the city.
But this is a little different than the other RV parks.
It is.
Because it is technically dry camping with facilities available.
And that's the key word. The services are available for water and sewer.
But the thing is, though, is at the same time, if they don't get water and they don't have water at their RV park, to me, technically, you're looking at it as tent camping. Because you're gonna have to go up here to your facilities and use the showers in the bathroom. Why? Because you ain't gonna stand out there, but you're gonna have your ass if you start pissing on your
What are
rocks.
you talking about?
Yes,
No, we're talking about,
Jesus
I have a
Christ, what are you
question.
talking about?
Yes.
What-
You're off on La La Land, I
did
think.
you not
Okay,
follow
guys.
this?
Apparently not.
I have a
You're-
question, please.
I got a question for Tim first. How much is it for pumping? Like, for his tanks, how much would it be approximately to pump?
It's about, what we charge, what is the normal 1,500 gallon tank? It'd be twice,
450. Well, the RV park out there has the 3 compartment.
correct.
And the last time they pumped, you guys pumped all 3.
Yeah.
I don't remember how much that was. That was,
Because normally it's $400 and some for a 1,000-gallon tank. And then after you do 1,000
How
gallons.
many gallons is yours? 1,000?
1,000 or 1,500, I don't know.
So,
And if it's a
1,000 's
if it's a
good.
three-weir, it would generally, you'd be pumping 2 tanks, 2,000 gallon tanks or 1,500 gallon tanks, whichever they end up.
So we're looking
Because the truck that comes and pumps is a 2,000 gallon pump truck. That's what they call it.
so it's
So if they have,
somewhere between
if they
6
have
and.
extra, if they have the extra amount of sewer, then it's another delivery fee. And also, they pay per gallon that they dump. That's how they come up with their price.
They had to come back to finish out here. One truck didn't haul enough material.
So it'd be between, what, $600 and $800 to do like what John's putting in?
probably closer to 8 to 1,500.
Rebecca, wait, you have something, that
I'm just
question?
trying to-
Yes, we would like to make our camping available to as many people as possible. We don't want to exclude them because they would rather bring water home. We don't want to impose a water fee or a sewer fee on them if they choose to go to LAD, or if they choose to bring water that they know is safe and healthy from home. It seems reasonable if you can track our dumps and take the fee or a percentage for the dumps, rather than asking us to just flat rate charge everybody higher fees to make the city's policies work better.
We can do anything we want under a negotiated contract without respect to these fees. Just, so you know that, we can construct something.
That's what I was trying, if we had we need to come up with a flat fee. That's why I was trying to figure out how we could cover having to pump it, but not have to add all, it's so difficult.
What do you guys think is fair? What are you looking at?
I have absolutely no idea, but $400 a month is ridiculous. Are you charging other two parks that much?
By space?
Are you charging them that much?
That's not public
Because their
knowledge, or
spaces
that's
are
not
full
public
of that.
information.
What's that?
That's not public information.
Yes, it is. Anything in this
Okay,
building
well,
is
no.
public information.
No,
Guys,
people's individual bills are not public information.
What you charge somebody else is public information.
No.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is, Renee. I took a 9-hour class Thursday
Calm
on
down.
ethics in the state of
Please
Oregon.
calm down. Did I raise my
All
voice
they
at
talk
you?
about is
Guys.
public record.
Have I raised my voice?
Just
Lower it
be
down.
quiet then.
Excuse me.
Lower it down,
Would
two.
you?
No, that is so rude. I cannot
You're
believe that you
raising your
said
voice
that.
now.
You are correct, because he is being inappropriate and it's unbecoming of a counselor.
And that's how it is when you say public information.
Okay, Rebecca, did you have something to say?
I did, and I go ahead, honestly don't recall what that is now.
Okay,
If it comes back to the sewer tank for the other parts, if you know you are dumping them once a year, pumping them once a year, then their rate should be just as much as pumping ours once a year. Not per spaces, not per spaces that may be full all week or spaces that are only full on the weekend. If it is pumping the tanks once per year, then ours is dumped once per year, it should be the same fee.
well, they're
On
paying,
the tank.
they're
basis.
paying for, in their bill. I'm just trying, I would like to see if we could find, like Martin said, some way to have a reasonable monthly charge on sewer. Because this is a whole different, we can't compare you guys with the other ones.
The other part of the aspect to that question would be, are the other parts closed to allowing outside campers dump at their sites? I believe Gold Rush is open. If somebody's camping up
Both of them
warm
are.
and they want it, somebody comes in and pays $10, then you have more than the spaces that they are using and being charged for their sewer rates. They're allowing more people to dump there, and they should be allowed to do that.
Yes, we should.
Well, we went on the floor, got rid of a couple of the other things.
John, when you said 400, you mean for sewer or for sewer?
I don't know where we're at on this.
Well, on
Is
water,
that for both?
well, on water, we were thinking about looking into a meter, and the price, and we need to figure per gallon. So that's something we are gonna have to figure out.
Because the last number I heard for sewer was 377 from.
Well,
Renee.
that's going down this line of what we have here.
Yeah,
Yes.
and because, well,
And eliminating,
the only
What we eliminate.
we eliminated the sewer dumps, the pumps, the sewer pumps.
Oh, okay.
This is just the
But-
base rate.
and you didn't add in the $28 shower fee.
No, this is
No.
just base rate,
I would leave that out.
You don't
the
do
dump
shower fee.
station, base rate dump station, base rate sewer, and the land use fee, and then 50 times what this, the dumps, 50 parks times the 660. That was only 377. I got rid of the other ones. As far as the base rate, you just see what others, and I did this a long time ago, I checked the base rate of every city. This was about a year and a half ago, called different cities for base rates. And they went by so many gallons for the base rate, and then they had a next tier, used from here to here, it was a little bit more. per gallon, and then there was another tier for high use. But they gave you a base rate for so many gallons on this is residential. I didn't check on commercial. You just gotta come up with an average of a base rate of how many gallons.
So you're saying $400 a month just for sewer?
$377
On
For sewer.
on the low side.
And how much is water then? What are we up to, 800-900 a month?
Well, the water we were talking about putting a meter in.
Your water would, yeah, if you're gonna put the meter in, just come up with the base rate, and then the next two tiers, if you go over, if you have, I don't know, what is it, 5,000 or 6,000 gallons or something, I don't know what they're. Then it goes up to the next, and if you use double of that, it's a little bit more, and then if you use triple of that, that's the base rate that they do in most cities on meters. We just gotta find out what's an acceptable base rate
Yeah, so we need to
for
figure out.
everybody, according to the meter.
Which, if you go from the water side to the sewer side, and where it says on the sewer side, laundry and shower, base rate, which is $28 over there. But if you flip the page over, commercial high is for restaurants, taverns, and laundromats. So
He doesn't-
he doesn't have a laundromat,
No,
but he does have showers. How many, we don't know yet.
2.
two.
But we don't know if that's adequate.
It's adequate for me,
So
Charlie.
always don't put in.
I'm just saying between what the ordinance says and what the state says, it ain't adequate.
I'd rather go with the state.
But we've already discussed about putting the meter in, and that takes care of the water, full water.
Yeah, but.
But you still need a base, you still need a
Could you
base.
give me a check and sign it so I could just, go write whatever I want? Because that's what you're saying is,
Well,
well,
no,
we're just gonna read the meter, but we don't know how much, John, we don't have a clue what's gonna cost.
well, John, hello, that's what I said, we need to make sure the price of the meter and figure a base rate per, and then we would give it to you. I'm not saying we're just going to pull it up, we're gonna have to figure it out.
When is this going to be done? I thought it would be done now. That's why we're on the agenda, I thought.
Well, it was on the agenda because we had questions and we needed to discuss it. Now, if you'd like us to try to rush through something, yes, but if you can wait until maybe the first meeting in March, maybe we could have something that will work for everybody.
Okay, how much will it be if I don't do a sewer dump and no water for the customers?
No, I thought you were, I mean,
Well, I'm asking you because I'm a businessman and I'm not gonna spend
Okay.
$15,000 so I can pay the city for 10 years.
well,
So no sewer, no water, is that what you're saying?
Yep.
If you have no sewer, no water, no lines, it's nothing.
No, Marcia, come on. Did you see the building where,
Well,
somebody
it's got-
defaced my signs this weekend? Did you see that building there?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
No, I
I'm
mean,
talking about no sewer dump and no water for my customers. How much is the rate, just for the building?
Well, and it would just be.
or the showers and the bathrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Water.
Like I said in my email, there'll be 2 showers, 2 hookups, 2 showers, I'm gonna put in 1 camp post hookup,
So.
not 2.
So water, the low commercial water is $31.50.
Okay, hold on. Those, I was just looking at those rates. Those are the old rates. Those are all, they all have $15 more added to them. So like the resident rate, it shows $29.50 and it should actually be $44.50. So all of those rates should have an additional $15 on there.
Why doesn't this show that?
Because Gasoline Accounting hasn't updated that.
Who?
Gasoline Accounting.
This came from Gaslin, this is the rates.
So if you just had a commercial showers, a water's commercial low water service, the flat rate is $31.50.
I honestly doubt I'll use less water than anybody here that waters a yard or 2 lots.
And your base rate for your sewer for, let's see, one commercial would be 18 plus your 10. No. So it'd be 28. Dump station. 28. It would be a lot less, John.
Well, how much less?
That's it. I hate to use my. Smart or somebody read along here with me. Okay, the sewer, if there was no dump station, the sewer base rate is $15.
Per month.
Yes.
For space?
Well, I'm just reading down.
No.
No, that's.
No.
No, what we're doing is if it's just a building or a full hookup and 3 toilets and 2 showers, so it's just, so the base rate is 15 plus a light commercial base, because it would be light. And you have the land.
So would you put numbers to those as you're reading them off, please?
Or what was,
Put numbers to them as you're reading them off.
yeah, the sewer base rate, oh, I'm sorry, I thought you had it as 15.
At what, 115?
15.
15.
Light commercial base is 18. Then we have the land use, which is 10. And then we would be at a RV park, no dump station with 1 building, which is $560 per unit. So it'd just be the building and 1 host.
That's 11.
Or you wanna do the $28 fee for the shower? It's a base rate.
Oh, okay, I've got it. It says
It says laundry or shower base, $28.
It's $82, $82.20. That's what I got. What did you get, Martin?
I got lost here.
Okay.
Because you said 560, John said that's 11. In my math, 2 times that is 1120.
Oh, did you say 560?
Yeah,
I thought you
560.
said 50.
I'm sorry, 560, so 10 cents off.
Where's the shower one? Oh, there it is up here.
Yeah.
Oh, just laundry shower or light commercial,
Yeah.
like commercial base. That's 18, is that what you said?
Yeah.
And then the shower base is 28.
So it'd be, I come up with 82.20.
8220?
For sewer.
for sewer. And then the water. Well, we have, the water would be metered, so we just have to come up how much per gallon.
Well, I thought if he's doing this, we came up with 18 plus 10 plus 1120.
That's for sewer.
Sewer and water are different bills.
That was the sewer bill.
But if he's not gonna have water for anybody else, why can't we just do a water service commercial
We
level?
can, we can. If he's not putting a spigot up, then it would just be,
Because that would be $31.50.
well, it's,
Plus 15.
we're
Plus 15.
paying more than that.
With
Well, the water's the one that went up. And
Where do you get 15?
Rob didn't change his,
Oh.
Yeah, you didn't
I see what you're
change
saying.
his. So that's 46.50. That would be 46.50. 46.50 on the water.
$128.70.
But like I say, I mean, I don't know if we want to discuss it more and try to come up with something that's more workable, if you want to give us another couple. It's kind of up to you.
What is it if I put in the dump?
Just the dump,
The dump in the water, the way you have to have water to dump.
right. Well, that's was.
That's where, but then that's where.
You know, what were we up to, 800-900 a month?
370.
I mean,
377.
for something that you can't say I'm going to use.
And it's something you can't say very well.
Okay,
I know,
well, you guys,
No, I'm
just,
just
but I'm not the one trying to charge
both
you
of
for it.
you.
These other.
The meter, if you're interested in this, trying to meter it, we need to.
Oh, you're going to meter it. I'm paying for a 2-inch meter, else
Okay, well,
the water rate just plummeted.
okay, well, I'm saying if we're going to put the meter in, then we have to come up with per gallon. So we need to get that figured out.
Which that's gonna have to, we'll have to look into the state and see what they got
Yeah.
to say for what the rate is for
Got it.
commercial.
Got it here. And so that would be the water. But, yeah, the sewer was, I think I'm like Martin, I got lost. What was it, Marcia, 380, 377? 377.
So what was it total? What's your numbers? Hang on. Okay. 377.
377 for your sewer, putting the dump station. I don't have a total for the water because I need to figure out per gallon,
The base,
the
yeah.
base. Because we do whatever the base is, and then you know what the base is?
Huh?
Do you know what the base is
Base what?
for the water per state, how much per gallon?
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay, well, that's why we need to know too, because I don't have any idea either. So, like I said, if you're willing to let us come back in March and have all those numbers, then
What's that?
if you're willing for us to get the numbers and come back in March, the first meeting, we'll have a total. I mean,
You guys are putting me right up against the line again.
well,
Because then I have to get somebody to come in, put in the tanks, and dig across the road, and they'll be of my choice, because it's a county road. I've already talked to Noodle, and it's all
the
about
problem
lined
is,
out.
how can you dig right now when we've got snow on the ground?
But you can do it. You can do it. The ground's not even
Well,
frozen.
is this something that we could get answers to in the next couple of days and hold a special meeting for?
We can try, but I found we have to be this week. I'm not there when it's.
I would like to know, because it is public record, what do the other two parks pay?
They're paying all the base fees that we just read off.
Well, how much is that?
I just know this is, because I went through and circled two and the laundromat and but like I say, we can't, you're totally, that's why I'm trying to work with you. You're a totally different situation because you're not,
Using the services?
because you're a dry camp. So,
Is that it, Charlie?
That's it.
Well, what is it?
they're doing 22 for high. They're doing $6.60 per unit, and the one's getting charged for 15 units. They're doing a land fee for $10. They're doing a sewer base. Nope, that's the wrong one, that's the residence. Yes, they're doing a sewer base for 15, and they're doing another $10.
What are they paying for their dry camp spots?
This one doesn't show any dry camps. Because this has got residential on it too.
Did you say 660 or 560?
660, 660. They have rent too.
Oh,
That doesn't
they
count.
both do.
But they also, on dry camping, even though they have dry camping, they still have the option to go up to the RV park and dump and also get water. I don't know if they're charging for dump stuff when people go camping. I don't
And
know.
call
And
it-
that would be fine, Marcia, if you don't charge me for this per space when you can't say and I can't say if that service will be used.
The thing
That's
is,
very unfair.
That's what we're trying to work out, John, is something to be fair.
the thing is though, is at the Gold Rush RV Park, like I says, Daryl has,
Well, he has
he has the dump,
15.
he has his dump fee, whatever it is that he's charging to dump a trailer, that's included in his park space, from what I was told.
And the dry camping too, park space.
Yes. That's dry camping park space,
And he's also taking outside dumps.
but he's charging for that. That doesn't, that's,
How is he paying
The-
the city for that? Because
because
dumping-
he's paying for the dump site.
He's getting it
Yeah,
pumped.
what if I drive up there from my RV park and dump?
He's gonna charge you for it.
And what's that do for the city?
What's that do for the city is the city charges him whether anybody uses it or not. It's a flat rate. We're charging him per month for the dump station, flat rate.
How much?
It's the same price,
Same
660
price.
times how many spaces
Yeah.
it is.
That's
Okay,
charging
so-
them for
yeah.
the space.
That's, you
If I
got,
don't camp there and I drive up there and I dump for $10,
$22 a month.
Okay.
Is what that is.
then you should charge me $22 a month for the dump station and nothing for the sites.
do you guys want to have a special session and meet about this? We'll try to get the rate per gallon.
I thought we had a number here of 128.7.
We need the base water rate for a meter. We don't have
Meters,
that
we don't know how
base-
because-
Because I mean, if I don't put in a dump station, you guys are screwing my business up. And I will let that be known. You know me, I'm not afraid to do that. So, you're limiting the business of a new business. I think it's probably the first business that's been built here in this town in decades. And we're trying to do everything legal, we keep getting harassed by everybody.
Well, we're trying to figure it out.
I know you're
We're going-
trying, but,
We're going
good.
through this, we're
Wonderful.
trying.
Uh-huh.
Yes, Rebecca.
I guess the point that we don't want to get lost here is you're charging Darrell for 22 spaces. He could be dumping 100 dumps in there.
Mhm.
So the space thing may not be an authentic way to charge for that, maybe more on how many times you have to pump the tanks.
Okay, Rebecca, on that thought, okay, let's expand a little bit on your thought. They pay for this year round, whether they're using it or not. So they actually can make up for the extra that they did during the summer months, because they ain't got nobody there right now. And they're still paying their monthly fee. You see what I'm saying?
Of $22.
So
On
you're,
20, on just the dump station for
So
$22.
why have you not-
That's per month.
why have you not approached, if we're only doing a summer season, spreading that out over a monthly charge and you guys get paid year round? That's what you're saying Darrell's doing.
This is what both our parks are doing.
22.
But as I say, I'm trying to comply with what you're asking, because you're saying, I don't want any fees from year to year. See what I'm saying? You don't want any fees, we only want to be.
I know what you're saying, Charlie, but I might use that office in the winter. And I would enjoy using the restroom.
Then-
I doubt I'll take showers in there.
Well, then, once again, if that's the case,
Mhm.
you're gonna pay the water and the sewer rate
Mhm.
for what it is, just like.
For the entire park.
For the entire park, just like the hotels, they pay for their rooms,
And they rent them a year round. They're
they
open.
rent them a year round.
They're
But there's
open.
how many times are they, you can be open too,
But I'm not.
but I'm just saying,
Mhm.
you can be.
Yes. But you
So
still-
so maybe what we need to look at, and this would be something for Martin to hear too, would be, maybe what we need to do is take your office and consider it a residence and have that fee. So you'll have a fee for your office/bathrooms,
Mhm.
okay? And then in the summertime, you will get an additional fee for the park. Is this something that's more doable?
Yes.
More comprended?
Yeah. But I don't think I should have to charge my people $6 for something they're not using. And that they
Well,
might
see-
use, but they might not.
But see, at the
I don't know how to get around that one, Charlie, instead of just, well, we need money, let's just charge them.
Well, the thing is though, is
How do we know you're not gonna use it?
the,
That's just it.
well, the thing is though, is it's not whether he uses it or not. It's because the city has to provide this service. We're obligated for the service. Whether you use it or you don't. It's your business. Like I said, we shouldn't have to sit up here as council and tell you how you bill and figure out your services. All I'm saying is you guarantee, because hypothetically, let's do a hypothetical here, John. Hypothetically, if you do 50 spaces, however, you only are doing 25, because that's all you can get, hypothetically. To make your water and sewer bill come out, you're gonna have to charge more for your 25 spaces to make it out. Correct, am I right?
Yeah, I would have to if I'm paying for the other spaces that aren't being used. I'm paying water and sewer for them,
Right.
that don't have water and sewer to them. It's like charging somebody for a house that they didn't run the water and sewer to. That's what you're asking.
Go ahead, Rebecca.
There's no logic in what you're saying, because you're charging Daryl for 22 spaces. He can bring in 100 dumps, and you're saying, but he's struggling to pay for these 22 spaces. That doesn't make sense. If he's bringing in extra dumps, he's filling his tanks more, and he's costing the city more.
And we're not here to dish on Gold Rush.
Well, no.
That's not what we're
We're
doing.
just-
We're trying to be apples to apples with the like businesses in this town.
It's just the logic behind it doesn't make sense. It's more about the dumping of the tanks. If we exceed a number of pumps, then there's logic there to charge us more than that.
And you have to make more money off of us than just the dump fee. Because there's a pond down there with a pump that's probably gonna burn up someday. It's gonna have to be replaced. Tim has to go check it all the way. I understand how this shit works, Charlie. Trust me. I'm trying to be fair. And charging me for something I'm not using is not fair. If I'm using it, I'll pay it in a heartbeat. But I can't guarantee you what's gonna happen.
But at the same, with your logic, as I said before, with that logic, we're charging the RV parks for something they're not using.
They have full hookups.
But they're.
They have water and sewer run to each space.
You missed my point. Right now, they are paying for all of this, and there ain't nobody there. Zero. So they're not using water, they're not using sewer. So
They
they're
have
paying,
people.
they're paying for a space that's not there.
Okay, do we want to meet on this in a special meeting and figure out what the price per gallon is, so we can come up with a fee on that? And
Wait a minute, what I'm hearing under Charlie's new scheme of a residence and maybe one spot for the camp host,
yeah,
I think comes up to $173.20 a month. Using the other method of charging for
park spaces here.
2 spaces, we go up with $175.20 a month. That's if I got the latest figures
Yeah.
there, which I don't know. So that seems,
What was the 664, Linda?
The 660 is it's a sewer RV park with a dump station, one or more buildings. Do you want me to highlight it on that paper that you have? It's a 660.
It's the
Per
third,
unit.
it's the third one from the bottom, John.
You got a different model than me.
No.
Mine says
Where's-
2,300 and
No,
No, it's
1,600.
Yeah.
But I see where it says RV park with dump station, one or more outbuildings.
Yeah. Now, there isn't,
And that is for, sewer,
Sewer.
okay?
Well, there's a high and a medium too.
Well, yeah, and
Which one it is to be low.
well, it has to be a medium, because medium is, RV park, well, it's good.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And then the water is, like I say, we gotta figure out how much per gallon on that.
But the base rate would be what?
The base, what's the base rate on?
On water,
Mhm.
The water,
It's what, 46.50 for commercial low? Base rate?
46.50 is the base rate for water.
And that covers up just, you gotta just
we're not figuring out.
figure out how many gallons for the base rate and then the tier for the next two sections on how much it would be. So if he uses, 6 times the rate.
So you're, how much are you charging the other two parks monthly for everything? That's what I wanna know.
I'll have to
Nothing
figure it
for this
out
one.
because,
Because they don't have water.
Why don't they have water, Charlie?
Because they got pissed off at the city a long time ago and put in a well.
Is they go well?
And
You
they,
can't drill a well in a municipal area that's served by water.
correct.
You should cap it. Is it being tested? Dan, there's a good question.
He died.
Yeah,
okay, so my question is, are we going to do a special session on this to get this resolved in the next 5 days? What is this, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
I'd prefer to get it resolved right now.
Okay,
We don't have
then
the
how
base
much do
rate.
we charge
You don't
per
have-
gallon?
Well, no, if he's just doing the rate,
Well, yeah, if he's just doing the
then we
rate.
don't need to measure it per gallon at this time. And the numbers come up, 173.20 or 175.20, unless someone's wants to point out something I missed, which I very well could.
Was that for
So when he puts in the meter, we still need to come back to the table then and come up with the base rate.
Everybody has to at that point, don't they?
Well, you're gonna put one in sooner though than the water tower stuff, aren't you?
If he goes by the space,
Yeah, on a meter?
yeah, I'm paying for a meter. The city has to provide me one.
but if he's, until we get the meters
And if you
installed.
get a new system and you have to replace it, that's not my
Yeah,
problem.
that's what we're not saying that, it's just, our meters aren't going to be put in for another year or so.
So he pays by the spaces, he's got two. By this calculation, one for his shop, one for his campos. Isn't that right? That's what you've been talking about.
Well, for water, is that what,
Yeah.
because,
Yeah.
Well, it can't be any different for potties than it can be for water, can it? Yeah, I mean, maybe, with all these gender identity crises, maybe we need more.
So you're talking $93 for the water?
I'm talking about for the water, yeah, it was 93 and 82.20. And the other one, doing it with, treating it as a house or whatever, was 44.50 and 46.50.
So how much do you want to charge me?
well, that's.
I can see why you guys don't do very good on your city budgets here, for crying out loud. So anyway, how much do you want to charge me for your water and sewer with a dump?
Yeah,
With the dump?
you are
With the
gonna put the dump in, are you gonna put the water? Because we're right back to you just,
Yeah, I know.
I know.
I'm trying to weigh whether I want to put in a dump or not, and I don't know because I have no idea where we're at right now, other than Sumter City
Martin?
Hall.
Was yours for the residential, just the office, the bathroom, that's what your figure was, right?
I figured the residential, as Charlie suggested, for the office, and showers and whatnot, and the camp host as one residential. But then if what you could do, what we can do is say, okay, we're gonna charge one of these two. And either 173.20 or 175.20, and if he puts in a dump station, and if he has to pump it once a year, isn't that what most of them do? What does that cost? 1,000?
1,000 to 1,500.
Somewhere, right, yeah, somewhere in there. Besides-
Charge the city's cost for doing that once a year. Then he can put it in a dump station. Leave it up to him. And we can amortize that over the year if we want, or a portion of a year that he has it. Or you can make him pay for it when you pump it.
So we're gonna make him pay for the pump. Okay. And,
No, that's a simple one to do, because then we just say that John gets to maintain his own tanks.
You know,
so,
He maintains his own.
He makes his
Pump
own,
his own like Iron Horse does.
you know.
and that was just for the sewer though, but we need to add on the water also.
We did the water.
okay, so
Without paying.
if John puts in a dump station and we don't pump it, then it's his baby. He can leave it in or leave it out. Or we can put it in that he has us pump it once a year and we charge him X dollars like we do everybody else.
And water, 23.
How do you feel about that, Tim? Tim's the Public Works Director.
Well, I think we should be able to cover the pumping once a year on the sewer, however it figures out, you know?
So you guys do it?
Yeah, I mean, because we're doing all the commercial and the RV, but it is a yearly thing for the RV ones. It's just,
So we have to bring.
and they're a bigger system. Last, like I said, the RV park up here, he came, filled his truck, came back for one.
You don't do it yourself, though.
No,
No, we pay somebody to come up and do it, so we have to split that across monthly. Or,
Well, I would suspect you could probably trust John to pay it.
or
If
then as I
you do
say,
it,
or
you
just pay
bill it.
however you would prefer.
I don't care. If Tim wants to be, that's fine. He is the Public Works Director of the City of Sumter.
Yes,
He has a say in it, and I trust him.
yes, but what I say is,
So if that's the case, then we'll add 100 and, I'm guessing 25, but I don't know. A month
oh, you want to add it,
for the pumping of the tank.
you want to add it to a monthly.
But you tell me how much of the monthly fee is that covering then? You know what I mean? That you have over here now. Now we've added 100 and something a month.
Right, so.
What's 1,500, oops, divided by 12, 125. So, and then how much for sewer rate after that? Because the sewer rate covers the tank pumping. See what I'm saying?
So you
So
got,
whatever number you've already come up with,
you got the 22, the 10, and the 15 for the sewer, that's 47. And then the 125 for the pumping. And then the 93 for the water, the way that Martin had it. So it's
Either that or it's,
265 a month.
2210.
or if he wants to have it pumped himself, he can do that.
but let Tim,
Sounds like you would rather have Tim be, go to the city and Tim.
that way I don't have people starting rumors that I'm not pumping my tank or something stupid like that.
So we got the dump station fee, the sewer base fee, and the land use fee, so that's what the $47.
and if, you know.
The three fees, the $47 for the
Yes,
sewer.
maybe 6
Tanks
months.
Plus
definitely
120.
pumped, then there wouldn't be that.
Sewer,
The three fees he'd be paying is
Yeah, I know,
the
but when it's
22,
three
correct?
Yeah.
okay,
The sewer base rate 15,
okay,
So maybe every
and then
year-
the land use fee
10,
10. And that would be it then.
plus and then 125.
The 125, he would prefer to pay monthly on the dump. And then, you add that $93 for the water, which is $46.50 for each. The host in the building, that's $265 a month.
So it would
And
be,
and that's using these numbers
Yes.
without adding the $15 to what we got right now.
so it would be 100.
No, the 15 is,
Well, remember, Renee says that you
No,
got
I
the
got-
numbers.
The 46.
it's $46.50.
4650 is correct.
Yeah, the $46.50 is $93.
So that's 93 for water and 173 for sewer. Is that what you said?
Is that what it comes out to?
I've got 172 for, sewer and 93 for water. Because he's adding 125.
Okay, did you guys do this with calculators? I would prefer someone do it on a
I've done
calculator,
it numerous
because I don't have
times.
enough fingers.
So
and
how
I'm
much,
short
what
of
was the two
telephone.
numbers, Marcia? I mean, Linda?
We've got 22,
No, no, just the two big numbers.
just the big numbers. It was 173, correct, Marcia? And,
172.
oh, okay,
Okay, 172
172 plus 93,
Perfect.
which comes to 265, right?
Mhm.
So that's what it would be.
Okay. So here's my suggestion. We'll pay that for 6 months and then we'll go on to a residential rate for 6 months. So we can use the office if we want to,
Well,
you
actually,
know what I mean? Or I can just run to the house like I do now, you know, which is very inconvenient, but
The difference is $2, I think,
what?
Between residential.
between
and
the
commercial.
residential and it being one of two spaces.
No, just residential for a house, that kind of a rate, because there's not gonna be campers there in the wintertime. That's what I'm saying.
Residential is,
That's what's, yeah, we're not doing that. It's just residential for your office building and residential for a camp host. That's all you're getting charged on water. $46.50 for each one.
Twice is $93.
That's the charge for water.
They're breaking the camp host site into a residence and the office into a residence. So you can shut the camp host site down.
Yeah, the camp, they won't make a camp host with parks on them. That's what I'm saying.
then you just
See
go
what I'm
down to
saying?
one, go down to one.
Yes, it'll just be me and Rebecca in the office of, you know,
And some homeless people in the trailer.
no, not doing that.
Okay. Do I hear anybody making a motion to do this or move forward with this or write it in stone or? No.
Well, I make a motion that we charge John. And somebody else has to fill the numbers in. For the sewer,
173.
what, no, let's break it down. I want each number laid out.
I didn't break it down.
So, for the sewer, we got 15 and 22 and 10 and 2 times 560, or is it 660?
No,
Neither of them? Okay, what is it?
it's just the 22 dump station, 15 sewer base rate, $10 land use user fee, $47. $125 a month for it to be pumped. 172 total.
Okay, that's for sewer.
Sewer
So,
month.
All right, and my motion includes those numbers broken down.
okay, $86 for 2.
She's got it on the report.
Okay.
And then for the water, we're gonna base it, what, on
Residential use.
residential use for how many months? 6? Or 9? 8?
6.
Pick a number.
We'll be open for 6, we'll be closed for 6, but we might want to use the office.
Okay, 6 months for 2
Two,
residences and 6 months for 1 residence. What do those numbers come up to?
That's 90, well, it's 93 for one, for the 6 months and 46.50 for the 6 other months.
Okay.
That isn't quite,
Because the office that's residential for the $46 is for a year. And we're gonna subtract the other one off in 6 months.
93, huh?
You end up in the same place,
Yeah, that's what we're
mathematically.
doing, $93 for 6 months and $46.50 for 6 months.
But the office is gonna be open up when the other one's running.
Well, that's why.
So that's a year. You got 6 months when the campus is there,
Yeah,
your office is open.
Yeah.
That's that 6 months.
yeah,
We're gonna do 6 months of winter just at the office,
No camp host.
no campus.
yeah, $46.50,
And that's $46.50.
then it's
For the office.
$46.50 for the other one.
$46.50 for the camp host for 6 months, $46.50 for the office for 12 months,
Yeah, so.
which is what we said originally.
Yeah, it comes out the same way.
So it should be.
It's $93 for 6 months. Okay, Mark made a motion.
What was it?
Do I get a second? No, it's 40, I know what it is, John, thank you. Thank you for being insulting continually. Do I have a second?
Nobody wants to say?
Anybody want a second Martin's motion?
I'll second.
Okay.
Question.
Okay,
Question, I'm calling for the question.
oh, okay.
Robert Rules of Order.
Yes, yes, sir. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Not
Not aye for Charlie. Okay,
So
good.
what is? It's got like $96 for,
It's
Six.
93. Okay, do the water. It'll be $93 for 6 months. That's two.
Mhm.
$46.50 for one for
Okay.
6.
And
And
then-
your sewer is 172.
Okay.
Okay?
I can live with that.
Okay.
And I set that building up to drain it in the winter, so I may not even use it, and that's fine. But as long as we're fair, I'm good with it. And I think you're being fair now.
And I do want to say, because it did take me off, because I just found out about your sign. And whoever did that.
We're gonna talk about that.
No, we're not gonna talk about that.
We're not in public comments, you.
Well, I'm making a public comment right now.
Okay,
I mean, I cannot believe that there's people in this town that will lower themselves to that.
neither can I,
And I'm sorry.
especially not to me. But Ed, up here,
I mean, it's,
I have a different manufactured reputation of myself, and I didn't manufacture it.
Well, I can believe people do it in this town.
well, I'm sorry that I really thought people were better than that. So. Okay, we're gonna move on so we get this stuff done. Advertising for the flea market, we all got that. I guess this is something that's been done. I don't know if we need to do it.
We haven't done it in 2 years.
Yeah, $125.
I move we don't do it.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
What?
What?
I've advertised the flea market from Boise, the Tri-Cities, Walla Walla, Portland, and Bend, along with this ATV rally. So they're, hopefully it's like the first one last year.
Okay,
We're trying everything we can do to help the city's flea market. No matter what anybody says.
that's fine, thank you. We have American Rescue Plan funds on the list here. Martin, did you find anything out about a well?
I've called the well driller and he has not called me back. I've called him several times. I know it's gonna cost a lot of money, but I do have some good news. We may be able to get a Grant Ryder, who has done a marvelous job for the city of John Day. He's retiring and going private. And he's only gonna take limited clients. He's the guy who got 12 million over 12
I
months.
know who, yeah,
Yeah,
I met him.
he's a hot shot.
Yeah, he is.
And I think because we're getting almost nowhere on other grants, except when the state walks in and throws money on the table, I think we ought to take a look at him when he, and if he agrees to come on board for us.
Well, we are moving forward on our grants, Martin.
We are, but that's a different discussion.
Okay.
And the other thing I think we ought to do is to try to bolster that, if the well on our own. And I don't know if it's gonna cost $1 million or $150,000. We ought to apply to the Leo Adler Foundation for that one. I don't know if we've applied anything yet. Have we?
The what foundation?
Leo Adler grant. Renee, have we applied?
I haven't heard, no,
She indicates no.
no, I haven't heard that.
And the deadline here is about a month and a half.
Okay, well, we still need to.
Do we still have to wait for the audits for the Leo Adler?
I'm not sure about that, but I mean, that's almost giveaway money if we have the audits.
I think they're getting close to getting that last one done, so. So, do you think maybe by, the next meeting, we might know about the well a little bit?
Well, we might. Now, the guy I contacted is a local well driller. Frankly, I don't know, and I suspect he doesn't have the ability to drill that big a well. But he will know who does. And I'm also gonna call the city, because I know they put in a couple of them in the last 10 years, one of them here, I think, last year. Find out what they're doing with it.
Because we do have to do that report by April 30th, so.
I'll have it,
We'll
I'll
have
have
to
it
deal
by
with
then.
this next month. Okay, we need to do a workshop on the employee handbook. It's kind of been half worked on and then put aside. So Renee gave everybody a copy of that for you to go through. Maybe scribble on it and do a workshop. So what date works for everybody? Is there a date? Anybody?
Tuesdays until Wednesdays, I can't.
We can't do Tuesdays
No,
and
not right
Wednesdays?
now.
Okay. Martin, what's your schedule?
It's all over the place, just pick a date and I'll see if I can be there. Except for the, I think it's 10th of March, it's a Thursday.
Well, do you guys need some time to go through this book and do your own notes, or how do you want to handle that?
Well, I think we'd be foolish if we didn't all read it.
Yeah, well, I've already got mine all marked up, so. How about? Oh, you said Tuesday and Wednesdays, Marshall?
Yeah.
How about Martin said nothing on March 10th?
That is a Thursday, isn't it?
Yes. How about, let me see, March 11th,
Friday?
Friday, March 11th,
Yes.
Charlie?
Actually, that whole week I could do a Tuesday or a Wednesday. I'm fine on that week.
Oh, let's just do it the 11th, so that we all have time to do it.
Hey, will he be able to attend?
I'll invite him. Okay, so that'll be March 11th at, can we do it at 3, Martin?
What?
Can we do it at 3 o'clock, a little earlier?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay. Okay. And we have this vacate application that we did many moons ago, and we never looked at it and approved it.
We looked at it, worked, and we just never got around to approving it, and it follows the ordinance that we do.
So we just need to make this so it's available.
It has the fees that we can get on the resolution fee schedule. Okay. I think it follows everything that was on there that we need. It's just an application. It's not a, it just comes to council.
Okay, so does council want to approve this?
I make a motion to approve the class 1 vacate application to match our ordinance.
Well, second.
Is it a vacate of a street, or is it the ordinance you're approving?
It's just, it's just a form.
Oh, okay.
It's just a form, is all we're doing. Okay,
You gonna vote on
Are
it?
you,
You didn't vote.
I made a motion.
Oh.
yes, I
And a
know,
second.
I know, I'm just writing this.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Still under new business, did you, Martin, look at that map of, that piece of property, the UV station services Waylanders?
No, because I don't know which map it is.
I got a hold of this morning on it, and go ahead, take it and look it over. It's just a description. I think that was put in long before 2010 when Waymeyer bought the property. So it's just a little bit more information. I'm not sure is the map coordinates on there.
I'm not gonna read those, so this will get me there.
Oh, okay,
Can you have it scanned and emailed to me, please?
I can get that done.
And Mark, which lot is theirs?
Okay.
Okay, Martin, do you have anything else? Marcia?
No, I'm good.
I wanna go home.
Probably works.
Did you have something? Officer?
Not much,
Okay,
just, our water coming in is quite low into McCully Creek, and there's not a lot of snow up there. And so we'll probably be running out of Cracker Creek if we get a June and July like we had this last year, we could really be hurting for water.
so we're gonna be on restrictions earlier.
And I'm thinking we're gonna be on restrictions for watering probably pretty early.
I forgot this, I apologize. I talked to the mayor of John Day today, and they have one of those vacuum pump things,
Uh-huh.
and I asked them if we could rent it. Now, I assume, do you know how to run one?
Never have, but we could probably.
It can't be that tough.
Yeah,
So, if we can get that, that'll save us a bunch of money from paying people to drive over here from Boise.
that'd work.
And I was also gonna ask the city of Baker that when we could rent or the wellness or
Or even if they would supply one person with the truck, I mean, you know, give us a rundown.
Those are very expensive units.
maybe, but we have him.
Main thing you don't wanna do is let that thing suck onto your leg.
I've been around a lot, but I've never actually run one.
Well, it'd save us a lot on just the travel time and
Yeah, if we
paying
could
their people to come over.
get, we could, you know, usually they have two people on the truck that run it, and if we supplied one person and they would supply one person, you know, I'm sure it would save us a bundle, especially coming out of Baker or John Day or whatever. So, good, thank you.
Is our water doing okay after you went up there?
Yeah, yeah, since we were talking about it, we lost our intake today for some reason. We went up to McCully Creek and, screens were clean, everything. We don't know why we lost our water. Was the airlock in the line or, so, but we're good, we're going good right now, so. It's just gotta get watched. I don't know, it's just, I think it's because the water levels are so low in the creek even right now. So, okay.
Okay, John. Public comment, John?
I have a 3 or 4 page Dill Road up back there. But what I'm gonna ask right now is that Marcia Damaris and Charlie Briscoe stop harassing us with your gossip around town. You head to the gas station, you head to the bar, fill everybody full of garbage, and that's the result on my signs out there at my property.
John?
No, I'm talking. Start my 3 minutes again. Okay? Charlie, you've come to my house and threatened us 3 times. The first time you said 80% of the people here hate you, the other 20% want you to leave. You came back a few months later and you said you're blackballed, get out of town. Then you stopped out in front of our house and you told me we decide who lives here, meaning you, the council. That's how I took it. And you can laugh all you want. Marcia, you've accused me of passing everywhere and I'm always on my own property. You accused me of Rebecca passing on Magnolia Street, but not anyone else. Nobody from Boise riding the ATV trail, no one go to the burn pile. Just Rebecca and I, and you guys had a 45-minute conversation with the city council of how Patterson's gonna get to their property. And you set me back on that building until the snow. Okay? This shit's gonna stop. Period. It's gotta stop. Because that is the end result. Between you guys and apparently the Snowmobile Club. Because that was the grand finale, apparently, was destruction of my personal property. We had an ATV rally last year you never even asked about. It didn't end up in personal property destruction either. Did it? You can say no, because I know it didn't. We didn't. So, I mean, I think you should resign right now from this council, effective immediately. And I'm asking you to.
Good enough.
Good.
Sorry about your son, I told you, I just found out.
Oh, I know. There's a hell of a lot of people in this that are disgusted with that. And that's just these two getting everybody in this town wound up and hating on us for nothing. You're trying to ruin the town. I've been attacked verbally by every neighbor of yours. Ballard, Schmitz, Van. Where do they get their information? My neighbor says you're making him uncomfortable. You're ruining the town. The whole Schmidt family come out on that one. And I was just asking them, why did you put a no trespassing sign on my property telling me not to go on yours? That's all I was asking them. But that's one of the response we got. So I'm asking you very nicely right now, will you please stop spreading bullshit around town for people to hate on me? I'm here to help this town. We've said it from day one. That park will help this town if you quit turning me in for things. Charles?
I haven't turned you.
Oh, yes, you have.
Okay,
So I already know you have. And it's, actually it's stuff that you guys should have told us that we needed to do. But you were in such a hurry to, ODOT transportation study on a county road. You need a turning lane. You got to do a railroad crossing. No, I don't. Okay? I don't have to do any of that. But I would really like to know what the rules and the laws are because I'm a law-abiding citizen. Okay? Enough.
thank you, John.
Now, I wanted to. Come on.
Because you said you wouldn't ask me any questions. You wouldn't answer any questions at the last meeting.
Okay,
Perfect.
anything else?
I move we adjourn.
One more thing.
It is.
Don't we adjourn?
Well,